1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. It's that time of year, it's Christmas time, and you know nothing says Christmas like the banjo. So for this week's lesson, we're going to work on the classic song, Deck the Halls, in the key of G. So we're going to start with the absolute basic melody and make sure we get that down first. So I'm going to break down the whole basic melody of the song, and then we're going to look at adding some bluegrass style ornaments. So how do we spice up the basic melody? This is a great lesson to practice that because the melody has a lot of space in it. So we're going to have some time to kill, we're going to have some space to fill up, and that's what we're going to work on, adding some rolls, adding some slides, hammer-ons. Again, general bluegrass style banjo ways to fill up and expand on a basic melody. I'm going to break down all the solos note for note and then show you a bunch of backup stuff I would do for this song. So this melody has a lot of different chord possibilities. You could harmonize the chords in a lot of different ways depending on what style of music you're playing. But for this lesson, I did kind of a bluegrass chord arrangement for this song, and I'm going to break down how I'd play down the neck, rolling back up over those chords. All right, here's Deck the Halls in the key of G. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, mikeheadingmusic.com, and grab the full-length lesson. You'll get access to watch all the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Deck the Halls in the key of G. All right, let's start breaking down this beginner arrangement to Deck the Halls. So really important, before we jump into the bluegrass style solo, let's get down the basic melody, because this melody has a lot of space in it. So before we start adding rolls and ornaments, hammer-ons and slides, let's make sure we've got down the basic melody first. Okay, let me play the first 4 measures, then we'll start breaking it down. Do that a few times. One more time, real slow. And so for this basic arrangement, I'm going to keep it pretty simple with my right hand. For all the first strings, I'm going to use my middle finger. For all the second strings, I'm going to use my index finger. And the third and fourth strings and fifth string, I'm going to use my thumb. So just keeping it pretty simple. So we're going to start up on the first string with our middle finger of our right hand. We're going to play a dotted half note, so that gets 3 beats. A dot adds half the amount of the note, so you have a half note plus half of a half note, which is a quarter note, would be 3 beats total. So remember, a dot adds, it's 1.5 times the normal amount. So you have a dotted half note is 3 beats, so you got 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to put our first finger on the first fret of the second string and play that note on beat 4. And then open second string. So we have... And then what I would recommend is counting it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You know, or if you absolutely are having trouble playing the timing of it, you could play the first string 3 times in a row, do 3 quarter notes. And then you'd hear how those quarter notes fit in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have half notes for measure 2, and then down to the second fret of the third string with your second finger, and then measure 3, open third string, and then second fret on the third string, and then open second string, and then open third string. So measures 2 through 4 are all half notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I said this melody has a lot of space in it, so it's really important we get the basic melody down before we start adding a lot of extras. So let's do 2 through 4 and then we'll put it all together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it a little faster. I think it'll make more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put the first 4 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little faster. What I'd also recommend is sing the lyrics in your head. Deck the halls, you know, you probably are familiar with this song. This is one too, you want to make sure you get the proper timing, because it might be easy to kind of play through the basic melody faster, right? But then you have to remember, once we go into the bluegrass solo, you're going to have to play eighth notes that fast. So again, this is a really good example of getting the correct timing. So it might feel like I'm playing the basic melody kind of slow, but then when I go into the faster picking, you know, then I'm ready to play at that speed. So I always tell students and myself too, you have to be able to, you know, start the song for the fastest part of the song that you can play. You know, it's easy to start a basic melody and play it really fast, but then the problem, you know, becomes later on in the song when you have to go and do now eighth note rolls. That can get really fast. So again, this is a good example of find that correct timing, even if it feels really slow. 1, 2, 3. You know, because then when you're going into eighth notes, you know, you can find that right timing that you can play at. And we'll break that down in the bluegrass solo. So let's do the basic melody one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now measure 5 through 8. We're going to do this is going to be the first quarter notes of the song. So we're going to play second fret on the third string. Open second string, first fret on the second string, and then back to that second fret on the third string. You'll see I just kept that finger down, so you have, and then we're going to play the open second string for measure 6. So you have, so let's add that. We have, and that's going to be a dotted half note again, so 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Second fret on the third string, open third string, and then fourth fret on the fourth string, and then open third string. Let's do it a little faster. One more time, real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the first half, and then we're going to repeat that whole part. So measures 9 through 16 are exactly the same. Okay, so that's down through measure 16. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Couple more times, a little even faster. Okay, so that's the first half. I kind of call that the verse part. Now we have measure 17 is the chorus. Second finger on the second fret of the third string for a dotted half note. So again, 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Then open second string. And then we're going to do half notes again. First fret, second string. And then second fret on the third string. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do it without counting. And then the same timing for 19 and 20, dotted half note, open second string. And then first fret, second string. And then half notes again, open first string. And then second fret on the third string. So we have, let's do that, let's do 17 through 20. A little faster. One more time. Now 21, open second string, and then second fret on the second string, and then open first string. So we have 1, 2, 3, so 2 quarter notes followed by a half note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then same timing for 22, second fret, fourth fret, and then open fifth string. So you have, let's do that part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is how you count it. And then 23, half notes, fourth fret, second fret on the first string, and then open first string for a whole note. So that's kind of the bridge part you have. Let's do the whole chorus section. One more time. Now we're back into the opening melody line for 25 through 28. And now we have a slight variation here, measure 29. You can use your first or second finger, whichever feels more comfortable. Second fret on the first string, we're going to play that note 4 times in a row. And then open first string. That's a dotted half note, and then we walk down first fret, second string, open second string, second fret on the third string. We're just walking down a scale there. So let's do that second half of the ending verse part. It kind of goes into the second half of the verse. Do that a few times. Okay, so that's all the way through the basic melody. So now that last open third string into measure 32, you could let that ring out. We can let that ring out, or in this example, we're going to go into our bluegrass style solo, which I'll break down right now. Alright, let's take it from measure 32. So that first note of measure 32 is the end of the basic solo. So we walk down. So if we were just playing the basic melody on its own, we could let that note ring out for a whole note, and then we would basically be back to the top of the song, so the start of the song again. But since we're going to launch into the bluegrass solo, we're not going to play that note as a whole note. We're going to play it as a quarter note and then do a pickup into our next solo. Because remember, the basic melody didn't have any sort of pickup. But in bluegrass and banjo, you a lot of times add a pickup to your solo that helps the band or the jam session kind of tell where you are in the song. So again, we're going to hit the open third string, and then we're going to do a classic bluegrass kickoff. We're going to hit the open first string and second string at the same time. So pinch, and And then put your first finger on the first fret of the second string, pinch again, and then walk up your first finger and pinch again. So we have 3 quarter notes, actually 4 quarter notes in a row if you had the first one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it a little faster. You probably heard that pickup before, classic pickup. Do just the right hand if it's giving you trouble. So, and then we're going to do, that's going to get us into measure 33. We're going to do a 2-3 hammer-on the second string with our thumb of our right hand is going to come down. We're going to do thumb middle. So right as I land on that 3rd fret second string, I'm hitting the open first string. Classic bluegrass technique of lining up that hammer-on. It's the same note if your banjo's in tune. So why did I do that, right? Our opening melody is just the open first string, which is fine, but not incredibly interesting, right? So we found that note on a lower string and then hammer on into it. And then we're filling it up with a roll now. Keep your second finger down. We're going to go up and do 5, 2, 1, 5 with my right hand. So those are the strings, T, I, M, T. And then we're going to move our first finger down to the first fret, second string, and pinch strings 2 and 1. So you have. Compare that to. So we're just filling that up now with a roll. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, now we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Or again, compared to the basic melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing it right, those should fit in the same amount of space, hopefully, right? So let's put it together. The other thing I do to help bring out the melody is I accent my thumb on that first hammer-on. And then I do an accent right here with this pinch. So that sounds really cool, very bluegrassy. And then 34, we're going to take that same idea. Instead of hitting the open second string like we did in measure 2, we're going to find that note on a lower string, 3rd string, 4th fret in this case, and we're going to do an alternating thumb roll sliding into it. So I did thumb, index, thumb, middle, T, I, T, M. Again, same concept, don't slide too quick. Right as you get up to that 4th fret, I'm hitting that note. And then we're going to slide our second finger back down to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, do that same roll. So again, instead of... So we now have... So we took those half notes in the basic melody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So to bring out the melody there, accent your thumb on beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. And then measure 35, we're going to kind of go into basically an E minor. So you're right here, put your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, take your 2nd finger off and do that same roll. And then we're going to put our 2nd finger back down, and you can take your 3rd finger off, play the 3rd string, and then pinch the outside strings. So we have... Again, compare that to... Now we have... A little faster. So that alternating thumb roll works great for half note melodies, right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now we're doing T, I, T, M, which is an 8th note version of the half notes. And why that roll works so well is because then the melody is always on your thumb, which is your most dominant finger. So you have melody, 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 melody. Hear that? So... And then right here, 36.